welcome back. Let's travel to Greece and learn how to make pita bread from scratch together this weekend. Here's the recipe, take a screenshot and let's get started. First, let's make the sponge for the bread. You guys are going to need about half cup of warm water, about 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast, 1 tablespoon of sugar. Okay, you guys are gonna mix and whisk this together until everything is dissolved, okay? And later, we're gonna add about a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour or whole wheat flour. You guys can use either, okay? Now, after that, we're going to rest the sponge in a warm spot for about 15 to 20 minutes. While you guys waiting, we can prepare the all-purpose flour here. This is what I'm using. This is what I have. I just use bread flour. You guys can use all-purpose flour and also some wheat flour right here and 1 tablespoon. So here's the wheat flour, whole wheat flour, and 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and also 1 teaspoon of kosher salt or sea salt. If you don't have sea salt, use only half teaspoon of regular fine salt. That's okay. And then now we're gonna add all the dry ingredients in a mixing bowl like this. So here's the rest of the flour. Okay, you guys use a 1/4 cup of the flour for the sponge and just put the rest of the flour in here, mix well, and then just add olive oil and sea salt and just mix everything well, and then go check on the sponge and see if you see any bubbles. Okay, if you see any bubbles, that means the yeast still alive and is perfect and it's going to be good for using in this recipe. If you don't see any bubbles, you're going to have to get new yeast, unfortunately, okay? So the mixture is frothy and bubbling a little bit. So the yeast is still alive, so it's perfect. And we can use this and pour in the rest of the ingredient just like that. Again, if you don't see any bubbles, your yeast is dead. You're gonna need to start over with new yeast, unfortunately, okay? Just make sure that the yeast is active and alive. I highly recommend using active dry yeast just to make the process a lot easier. Okay, now just mix everything together first, and then you can start kneading with your hands. Okay, all right. Okay, now let's knead for about 2 to 3 minutes until the dough is nice and smooth. And after that, you guys can cover with a warm towel and just rest it for about 10 to 15 minutes and come back and knead again for another 2 to 3 minutes, okay? Just like that. So I rested the dough for about 10 minutes and then I continue kneading it again for about 2 to 3 minutes until the dough is nice and soft and smooth like this. It should be a little bit moist, but if the dough is a little dry, you can add some water. Okay, just wet your hands with water and start kneading until it's become nice and soft and moist. Okay, so once you get this nice texture like this, you can just proof the dough for about 2 hours until it gets double in its original size. Okay, I'm going to show you guys right now. Alright, next, just coat some olive oil in the mixing bowl like this until you get all of them olive oil coated nicely. And then now you guys want to just add the dough that we just made and then turn it around until you get some oil on the surface of the dough like that, and then cover with a towel and rest it in a warm spot, about 85 Fahrenheit, 85 to 90 Fahrenheit, for about 1 to 2 hours. And then you guys can take it out. And here is the beautiful rising dough that I have, that you guys should have. Okay, on a nice clean surface, just dust some flour on top like that, and then gently deflate the dough on the surface. And then now just pat like that, and then poke a little hole in the middle, in the center, just like that. And then we're going to shape the dough into a donut shape. Okay, yes. Okay, now just split the dough in half like that. Okay, again, half. Okay, just split it like that. And again, right here, we're going to split the dough into 8 equal pieces. Okay, just like that. Okay, next, let's shape them into small balls, just like this. Okay, you can pinch the bottom part just to close it, and then just pat and roll until you get this nice small ball, and put this away in an airtight container in the refrigerator. And we're going to be using this in the classroom. But again, if you guys don't feel like making pita bread from scratch, feel free to get pita bread from a store nearby. It's totally fine. We can just heat that up and then eat with curry and cucumber dip and some salad. It's going to be so yummy. Okay, guys, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.